My boyfriend didn't show up to my sister's wedding. His best friend did. And it changed everything. My boyfriend just texted me he isn't coming to my sister's wedding, and his best friend is on my porch with a suit bag, like he's the replacement. I'm Jennifer. I have 4 hours until the ceremony starts. My family group chat is exploding, and my mother is about to realize the mystery man she has been bragging about for 3 years just vanished. My phone buzzes again in my hand, as if it's offended I'm not responding fast enough. The message is still there, bright and unforgiving. Derek, I can't make it. I'm so sorry. Elliot is on the way. Please trust him. I'll explain after. I read it 3 times. I hate how calm it sounds. I hate the word after. Like there is a neat little box later in the day where we can open this and deal with it. There is no after on wedding days. There is only right now. And right now I am standing in my living room in a robe with one eyelash half glued on and my sister's bouquet ribbon in my hand like I'm already late. The doorbell rings. I don't move because my brain is trying to decide whether running away is still an option at 29. The doorbell rings again. I cross the room and open the door so hard it rattles. Elliot stands there with a black suit bag in one hand and a garment tote in the other. He is tall. He is put together in a way that feels unfair this early in the morning. His hair is neat, his shirt is crisp, and his expression is calm like he walked into the wrong life on purpose. I've met him exactly 3 times. Once at dinner with Derek and his friends, where Elliot barely spoke but laughed at the right moments and asked me what I did for work, like he was actually listening. Once in passing outside my apartment building when Derek ran into him and introduced him like it mattered. Once at a birthday gathering where Elliot stood near the kitchen island and quietly made sure no one's drink went empty, like a different kind of social skill. Now he's on my porch holding a suit bag like my life is a scene he agreed to step into. Jennifer? He asks, gentle, like he's confirming I'm a real person and not a problem Derek invented. Yes, I say too sharply, then force my voice down. Yes, hi. His eyes flick to my phone. He texted you. I got it, I say. I got the part where he isn't coming. I did not get the part where you show up instead. Elliot takes a breath. I don't have all the details. Do you have any of the details? Enough to know Derek wasn't flaking, he says. Enough to know he sounded serious. And enough to know he asked me to be here for you. I stare at him. There are people who say be here for you like a slogan. Elliot says it like an assignment. Like he's already decided he's going to do it correctly. My phone buzzes again and I see the name of the family group chat. Megan's big day. Because of course my mother named it that. I can feel the pressure building behind my eyes before I even open it. Mom. Jennifer, what time are you and Derek arriving? Aunt Kendall. Can't wait to finally meet this mystery man. Brianna. I heard he's tall. Is he tall? I need details. I close my eyes. My cousin Brianna is the kind of person who treats other people's discomfort like entertainment. She has always been like this. When we were 12, she made a joke about my braces in front of my crush, and then pretended she was helping me get over insecurity. Now she has a platform, and my family has Wi-Fi. Are you okay? Elliot asks. No, I say honestly, but I don't have time to be not okay. Elliot nods once. Okay, what do you need? The question lands wrong and right at the same time. I'm not used to someone asking me what I need without turning it into a debate about whether I deserve it. I swallow. I need to get through today without my mother having a public nervous breakdown, and I need my sister to have her wedding without my family turning my love life into a group activity. Elliot's mouth twitches. Understood. And I need you. I add, then hate that it sounds like I'm asking for something emotional. To act normal. He blinks. Define normal. Do not embarrass me. Do not tell them you're not Derek. Do not say anything that sounds like a confession. Elliot nods. I can do that. And do not talk to my mother longer than necessary. His brows lift slightly. Your mother is intense. My mother is a slow-moving tornado, I say. If she catches you, she will ask you questions until you forget your own name. Elliot's gaze flicks to the suit bag. That's why I brought this. I stare at it. You brought a suit because my mother interrogates people? No, he says. I brought a suit because Derek told me to. A cold thread runs through my chest. He told you to bring a suit, I repeat. Elliot's voice stays calm. Yes, so he planned this. Elliot doesn't deny it. He just says, he planned as much as he could. My heart thumps too hard. Planned means he knew he wouldn't be there. Planned means he chose not to tell me until this morning. Planned means I am the last person on earth to find out what is happening. I can't process that right now. I step back from the doorway. Fine. I say. Come in, I need to change. And then we're leaving. Elliot steps inside like he has been invited into chaos before. I grab my dress bag, my shoes, my emergency makeup pouch, and the maid of honor binder Megan made me swear I would keep with me like I'm her assistant and not her sister. Elliot watches me move like a person who has learned not to interrupt a storm. My phone rings. Mom. I stare at the screen like it's a threat. Elliot tilts his head slightly. Answer it. I know I should, I whisper. It'll be worse if you don't, he says. I answer, trying to sound normal. Jennifer, my mother says immediately, voice tight. Where are you? I'm leaving now, I say. Is Derek with you? I glance at Elliot standing near my kitchen counter. Suit bag still in hand. Sort of, I say. Silence. What does sort of mean? Mom demands. It means I'm handling it, I say. Everything is fine. Jennifer, my mother's voice lowers, which is never a good sign. Do not do that thing where you hide information and then drop it on me when we're already in public. I'm not. I lie. Is Derek coming or not? My throat tightens. Elliot's gaze holds mine steady. Derek had something come up, I say quickly. His friend is coming with me. We'll be there on time. His friend, my mother repeats like she is tasting something suspicious. What friend? Elliot, I say. Elliot who? My brain tries to short out. No last names. Elliot murmurs under his breath like he's reading my panic. He's Elliot, I say. Mom, I'm driving. I'll see you there. Jennifer, I love you, I say, because it's the only thing that ends conversations with her fast. And I hang up. My chest is pounding. Elliot raises an eyebrow. That went better than I expected. That's because the real disaster is waiting for me at the venue, I say. We get in my car. The drive is 45 minutes through flat winter fields and gray sky, and the whole time I keep calling Derek like the universe will change its mind if I try hard enough. Voicemail. 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 I throw my phone into the cup holder like it betrayed me. Elliot sits in the passenger seat, hands folded, posture relaxed like he's trying not to add tension to a car already filled with it. He's not answering, I say. Elliot nods. He said his phone might be off. Why? Elliot's gaze stays forward. He didn't tell me why. I grip the steering wheel tighter. Elliot, do you know what's happening? I know Derek asked me to be here. I know he said you needed someone steady. And I know he told me not to explain until he can talk to you himself. My stomach twists. So you do know. I know pieces, he says carefully. Not the full picture. How do you know Derek? I ask. Because I need something concrete. College, Elliot says. Freshman year roommates. Then brothers, basically. He's the family I chose. And he just calls you on my sister's wedding day and says, go take my place, and you do it? Elliot's mouth twitches. It wasn't phrased like that. How was it phrased? Elliot exhales. He said, I need you. Jennifer needs you. Please don't ask questions right now. Just go. I swallow hard. And you said yes, I whisper. I said yes, Elliot confirms, because he sounded like he was trying not to fall apart. That sentence sits heavy in my chest. Derek doesn't fall apart. Derek makes lists and solves problems and apologizes for breathing too loudly. If he is trying not to fall apart, something is very wrong. My phone buzzes again. Instagram notification. Brianna. I tap it at a stoplight and my stomach drops so fast I feel dizzy. Brianna posted a photo of me from last Christmas, cropped next to an empty chair, like the chair is the punchline. Caption. Looks like Jennifer got dumped again. I stare at it. Then I see the comments starting to pile up. Aunt Kendall. Oh no, not again. Uncle Weston. Jennifer has the worst luck with men. Someone I barely recognize. Maybe she's too picky. And then my mother's comment. Mom. Brianna, delete this immediately. This is not appropriate today of all days. Brianna replied. Brianna. What? I'm just being honest. We all saw it coming. Heat floods my face. Elliot notices my silence. What happened? My cousin posted about me, I say tightly. Elliot's jaw tightens a fraction. What did she post? I lock the phone. Something cruel, as usual. Elliot nods like he understands cruelty in families without needing the screenshot. We can deal with her later, he says. Later is not a thing in my family, I say. The venue appears up ahead. A restored barn with white lights strung across the entrance and a gravel parking lot already packed with cars. My mother's car is there. So is my father's. So are 30 relatives who cannot mind their own business. I park and sit for 1 second, hands still on the wheel. Okay, I say. Ground rules. Elliot turns to face me. Calm. You are Derek's friend. I say. Derek had an emergency. You came to help me. That is the story. Elliot nods. Okay. And if anyone asks if you're my boyfriend, Elliot pauses. What do you want me to say? I swallow. Say you're here with me today. Say you're my date. Elliot doesn't flinch. Okay. My stomach flips. You're too willing. He holds my gaze. Jennifer, you're drowning. I'm not going to make you fight me too. I look away fast because my eyes are getting wet, and I will not cry in my car in a gravel parking lot like a sad movie. I step out and we walk toward the barn. The moment we enter, the noise hits us. Voices, laughter, high heels on wood floors. Someone yelling about where the rings are. The bridal suite is chaos. Before I even make it 3 steps into the bridal suite, Hannah nearly collides with me holding a curling iron like it's a weapon. Jen, thank God, she says. Megan's veil is missing and Sophie is having a panic attack about the humidity. Sophie whips her head around. It's not a panic attack. It's a realistic assessment of my hair's ability to betray me. Layla glides past with a calm smile. Everything is fine. Veil is in the closet. Humidity is normal. Breathe. No one breathes. My mother points her clipboard at me like she's assigning duties in a war zone. You, she says, fix the bridesmaids. Fix your hair, and do not let your cousin turn this into an internet circus. I glance back at the doorway where Elliot hovers, suit bag in hand, looking mildly amused by how aggressively my family treats Joy. Mom follows my gaze. And you, she says, eyes narrowing at him. Elliot. Elliot steps forward with polite posture. Yes, ma'am. My mother hates being called ma'am, but she also loves manners. It buys him half a point. What do you do? She asks. I mentally scream. Elliot answers smoothly. Project management. And your parents? Mom continues. I blink at her. Elliot doesn't. They're in another state. Where? Elliot's pause is so small most people wouldn't notice. I do. Texas, he says. Do you golf? Mom asks. Like she is checking for compatibility with my father's personality. Elliot blinks. I can badly. My father's voice appears from the doorway, amused. That's honest. Mom whirls. Why are you in here? Dad shrugs. I was told the groomsmen are late and you're going to explode. He looks at me and softens. You okay, kid? The question almost breaks me. My dad doesn't ask, are you okay, the way my mother does. He asks it like he is willing to hear no. I'm fine. I lie automatically. Dad's gaze flicks to Elliot, then back to me. He doesn't press. He never presses in public. Mom does. She looks at Elliot again. So you and Derek are close. Yes, Elliot says. Close enough to show up to a family wedding in his place. Mom says. Elliot nods once. Yes, and you're comfortable being photographed. Mom adds sharp. Elliot glances at me briefly, then back at Mom. If it helps Jennifer and Megan, yes. Mom studies him like she is trying to determine whether he's a threat or an asset. Then she says, good. Don't embarrass my daughter. Elliot's mouth twitches. I won't. Mom turns back to me. Go handle Layla. The seating chart is changing and I don't want surprises. I manage to breathe again. Elliot steps slightly toward me as I leave the room, voice low. Your mother is terrifying. She's not terrifying, I whisper. She's persistent. That's another word, he murmurs. Megan is in a white robe, hair half pinned, makeup half done. She looks stunning and tired, like she has been holding her breath for weeks, and today is the day she finally lets it out. Mom is near the window with a clipboard, pacing like she is directing air traffic. Hannah and Sophie are arguing about the placement of the aisle flowers. Layla, the wedding coordinator, moves through the room like a calm professional in the middle of a family hurricane. My mother sees me instantly. Jennifer, she says, eyes sharp. Her gaze slides past me. Where is Derek? He had an emergency, I say quickly. Elliot came instead. Mom's mouth tightens. Elliot, yes. So you don't have a real date. Elliot is a real person, Mom. You know what I mean, she hisses. I do. Brianna already posted. Mom adds, furious. The entire family saw it. I know, I whisper. This is exactly what we were trying to avoid, Mom says. Megan looks up from the vanity. Her eyes are slightly red. Mom! Megan says, voice strained. Stop, Mom turns. I'm just saying. I know what you're saying, Megan says. And I'm saying it doesn't matter. Jennifer is here. That's what matters. Megan's eyes meet mine, and in that look there is exhaustion and something else I can't name. Fear. My stomach tightens. Mom swallows her frustration and redirects it into logistics, because that's how she survives feelings. The coordinator needs to talk to you about the seating chart. She snaps at me. Go. I escape. On my way to Layla, Brianna intercepts me in the hallway with her phone already up. Quick question, she says brightly, camera pointed at my face. Is Derek in witness protection, or did he just finally realize weddings are boring? I stop walking. Brianna, I say, calm enough to sound dangerous. Turn the phone off. She pouts. It's not even live. It will be, I say. She grins. Maybe people love a mystery. Elliot appears behind me, not touching me, just close enough that I feel less alone. Brianna's eyes light up like she caught a new toy. Oh, Elliot, right? Tell me, Elliot. Are you here as a friend or as the rebound? My cheeks burn. Elliot's expression stays neutral. I'm here because Megan and Jennifer deserve a peaceful day. Brianna laughs. Peaceful. At our family wedding. That's adorable. Elliot's tone stays mild. If you want attention, Brianna, you can ask for it. You don't have to take it from Megan. Brianna blinks, thrown off by someone naming the behavior out loud. She recovers quickly, smile sharp again. Wow, Derek's friend is intense. Elliot's gaze stays steady. I'm not intense. I'm direct. Brianna leans closer, lowering her voice like she's offering a secret. Direct question then. Where is Derek? My throat tightens. Elliot answers before I can. Derek is handling something serious. It isn't my story to share, and it isn't your content. Brianna's smile drops. You're no fun. Elliot nods. That's what I'm going for today. Brianna huffs dramatically and backs up. Fine. But don't blame me when Grandma starts asking questions. She walks away, phone still in her hand, but she doesn't record again. At least not in front of Elliot. I exhale slowly. Elliot glances at me. Is she always like that? Yes, I whisper. Since birth. He nods. Okay, then we plan for it. I find Layla in the hallway, tablet in hand like it's a weapon. Jennifer, she says, we have a small issue. Of course we do. What kind of issue, I ask. Your +1 was listed as Derek, Layla says. Meals were assigned. If Derek isn't attending, the premium plate becomes a charge unless we fill the seat. How much? Layla glances down. 215. My chest tightens. Put Elliot there, I say immediately. He's here. Layla nods, typing. Name? Elliot, I say. Last name? I freeze. Layla watches my face and seems to decide this wedding is not the place for judgment. First name only is fine, she says smoothly. Table 7, seat 4, next to you. I exhale in relief. Then Layla scrolls and frowns slightly. One more thing. I close my eyes. What? Your mother confirmed partner placement for family photos, Layla says. Immediate family members with dates will be included. My head starts to throb. So Elliot has to be in the photos, I say. Layla nods. If he is your official +1, yes. I swallow a scream and paste on a smile. Great, thank you. I walk away before I say something unhinged. I find Elliot near the bar, not drinking, just standing there like he's already mapped the room. We have a problem, I say. His brows lift. Another one? You have to be in family photos, I say. He nods. Okay, I repeat. Do you understand what that means? My family, the interrogation, the photographers telling you to touch me so it looks natural. Elliot's gaze stays steady. I understand. And you're just fine with it. I'm fine with helping you, he says. That's why I'm here. I stare at him, something sharp and warm in my chest that I do not have time to unpack. Before I can respond, Brianna's voice slices through the room. Jennifer! I turn. Brianna is standing near the dessert table, phone already held up, camera facing us like she is about to narrate my humiliation. She waves dramatically. Everyone, look, Jennifer made it. My stomach drops. Elliot leans in slightly, voice low. Do you want me to handle her? You cannot handle Brianna, I whisper. Brianna is a creature that feeds on attention. Brianna's smile widens. And who is this? She asks loudly, sweeping her phone toward Elliot. Is this a replacement? Are we doing a recast? My cheeks burn. I step forward. Brianna, put the phone down. She gasps. Why? I'm just capturing memories. This is a big day. You know, for Megan. And for you. Because you're always such a plot twist. Elliot's posture stays calm, but his eyes sharpen. Brianna angles the camera closer. Say hi. Tell everyone your name. Elliot steps slightly to the side, blocking the camera's view of me without touching Brianna or her phone. It's subtle, protective. Hi, Elliot says in a neutral voice. I'm Elliot. Brianna beams. Elliot, what a mysterious name. So Elliot, what's your relationship to Jennifer? I feel my pulse in my throat. Elliot's gaze stays on Brianna's eyes, not her phone, like he refuses to perform for it. I'm here with Jennifer today, he says. Brianna tilts her head. Because Derek bailed? My throat tightens. Elliot's voice stays calm. Derek had a serious situation. Jennifer shouldn't have to manage everything alone. So I'm here. Brianna's smile falters for a fraction of a second, like she didn't expect a man who speaks in full sentences with boundaries. Then she recovers. Wow, that was noble. Are you going to carry her bouquet too? Elliot's mouth twitches, if she asks. Brianna laughs loudly, then turns her phone back on herself, continuing her commentary like she's starring in a show. Anyway, she chirps. Stay tuned, family, because I have a feeling today is going to be interesting. She walks away, phone still up. I exhale, shaky. Elliot glances at me. You okay? No, I say, but thank you. He nods, like gratitude is something he accepts without needing a speech. Layla appears again, saving me from further conversation. Jennifer, she says, bridal party touch-ups, now. I follow her, but my mind is spinning. Derek is gone. Elliot is here. Brianna is hunting. My mother is watching. And my sister looked scared when she spoke to Mom. In the bridal suite, I finally catch Megan alone for a moment. She is standing in front of the mirror now, robe open slightly as the makeup artist applies foundation to her collarbone. Her hands are shaking, barely visible, but I see it. Megan, I whisper. She looks at me in the mirror. Hey, you're trembling, I say quietly. She forces a smile. I'm nervous. Megan, I repeat because I know my sister's nervous. This isn't it. She looks down, lips pressed together. It's fine. Did Derek really have an emergency? She asks suddenly, voice small. My stomach twists. Yes, I say carefully. That's what he said. Megan swallows hard, eyes glossy. Megan, I whisper, what's going on? She shakes her head quickly. Nothing. I just want today to be perfect. Perfect. The way she says it feels like a prayer. Before I can push further, Mom sweeps in with more tasks. Jennifer, she says, the florist needs approval. Hannah lost an earring and someone needs to shut Brianna down. The moment is gone, but I file it away because something is happening. Something big enough to make Megan's hands shake. The next hour is a blur of wedding logistics and family drama. I approve centerpieces. I find Hannah's earring under the couch. I help Sophie repin her hair after she panics about humidity, and then I hunt down Brianna. I find her outside, in the garden area, filming herself with the barn behind her like she's the host of a show. Brianna, I say voice low. She turns, smiling brightly. Jennifer, come on, say hi to the camera. People are asking where Derek is. My stomach drops. Delete the post, I say. What post? She asks innocently. The one implying I got dumped, I say. Brianna pouts. It's not implying, it's a joke. It's cruel, I say. She shrugs. Cruel is subjective. I step closer. Delete it, now. Brianna's smile sharpens. Or what? I hold her gaze. Or I tell Aunt Kendall what really happened at Thanksgiving. Brianna's expression flickers. Fear, anger. Then she laughs too loud. You wouldn't. I don't blink. Try me. Brianna stares at me for a long beat. Then she sighs dramatically and starts tapping her phone. Fine, she mutters, but you're no fun. I'm not here to be fun, I say. She deletes the post and I feel a small, guilty satisfaction. Then she lifts her phone again, smile returning like a weapon. You know, she says, voice sweet. Mom's going to find out eventually. My stomach tightens. Find out what? I ask, even though I already know she means Derek. Brianna leans in. Whatever you're hiding, you're always hiding something. I stare at her. Go bother someone else. Brianna smiles. Oh, I will. She walks away and I feel my skin crawl. 90 minutes before the ceremony, I finally get a moment alone. I step outside into the garden and try Derek again. Voicemail. I text him. Me. Please tell me you're okay. I need to know what's happening. No response. I stare at the screen until my eyes blur. A moment later, Elliot steps outside. He stops a few feet away, not crowding me. You disappeared, he says gently. I needed air, I whisper. Elliot nods. Makes sense. I swallow hard. Do you know where he is? Elliot's gaze is steady. I know he is safe. How do you know? Elliot hesitates just a fraction. My stomach drops. You do know, I whisper. Elliot exhales slowly. I know enough to tell you he didn't abandon you. That is not the same as telling me the truth, I say, voice shaking. Elliot's gaze softens. Jennifer, I don't want you to hear it from anyone except Derek, but I also don't want you spiraling. It's too late, I whisper. Elliot studies me for a moment. If I tell you anything right now, will you be able to keep it from your mother? The question is blunt, and it stings because he is right to ask it. I swallow. Yes. Elliot's brows lift slightly, like he's not sure he believes me. I can. I insist. Megan asked me not to cause drama today. I can keep it. I can hold it. I just need to know what's happening. Elliot takes a breath. Then my phone rings. A number I don't recognize. My blood turns cold. Elliot's gaze flicks to my screen. Answer it. I answer cautiously. Hello? A woman's voice, calm and professional. Hi, she says. Is this Jennifer? Yes, I whisper. Who is this? My name is Olivia, she says. I'm with donor services at St. Mary's. Derek signed a limited release allowing me to contact you. My stomach drops so hard I sway. Elliot's face goes still. Derek is at the hospital? I whisper. Yes, Olivia says. He asked me to tell you a few things. I can only share what the release allows. My throat is dry. Okay. 1, Olivia says he is safe. I breathe in shakily. 2, she continues. He is in a planned procedure. He chose to be here today. Tears burn my eyes. And 3, Olivia says gently. He asked you to trust Elliot until he can speak to you directly. I press my hand to my mouth, trying not to make a sound. What procedure? I whisper. Olivia pauses. I can't share details, but I can tell you it is a living donation. The words feel unreal. A donation, I whisper. Yes, Olivia says. And he wanted you to know he isn't doing this to hurt you. He is doing it because he believes it is the right thing. My knees feel weak. And, Olivia adds, voice careful, the recipient is someone connected to today. Someone you love. My world tilts. Megan, the trembling hands, the red eyes. Oh my God, I whisper. Olivia's voice softens. I'm sorry. I know this is a lot, but he didn't want you thinking he abandoned you. Is he okay? I whisper. He is stable, Olivia says. He is being cared for. He asked me to tell you he loves you. A sob escapes me quiet. Okay, I whisper. Olivia continues. He will contact you as soon as he can. Please take care of yourself. The call ends. I stand there with my phone still pressed to my ear, like the line might come back and tell me I misunderstood. Elliot's voice is gentle. Jennifer. I look at him, tears on my face. He's at the hospital, I whisper. He's doing a donation. Elliot closes his eyes for a moment, like he's carrying something heavy too. Who is it for? I whisper. Elliot exhales slowly. It's Megan, he says. The world goes quiet. My sister, my baby sister. Not a baby anymore, but the one I always protected. Megan is sick, I whisper, voice breaking. Elliot nods once. She found out months ago. She kept it quiet. Derek overheard a call. He got tested. He matched. He decided to do it. Without telling me, I whisper. He didn't want Megan's day to become a vigil, Elliot says softly. He didn't want your mother to spiral, and he didn't want you to carry it on your face. I choke out a laugh that sounds like pain. Too late. Elliot's gaze is steady. Do you want to tell Megan you know? Yes, I whisper. Now, we go back inside. I move fast, heart pounding, slipping through hallways until I reach the bridal suite. Megan is in her gown now. Lace sleeves, simple neckline, a train that pools behind her like water. She looks like a bride. She looks like she is trying not to break. Megan, I whisper. She turns, and the moment she sees my face, her expression changes. Jen, she says, voice tight. What's wrong? I close the door behind me. Elliot stays near the wall, quiet. I know, I say. Megan's face drains of color. She starts. I know about Derek, I say, voice breaking. I know he's at the hospital. I know he's doing a donation. I know it's for you. Megan's eyes fill instantly. He wasn't supposed to tell you, she whispers. He didn't, I say. Olivia called me. Derek signed a release. Megan presses a hand to her mouth, shoulders shaking. I didn't want anyone to know, she whispers. I didn't want today to be about me being sick. I wanted one day where I'm just the bride. I cross the room and take her hands. How long? I whisper. Megan's voice breaks. 6 months. 6 months. My sister has been carrying this alone. My chest aches so hard I can barely breathe. Why didn't you tell me? I whisper. Megan looks down. Because you would have worried, and Mom would have panicked, and everyone would have treated me like glass. I didn't want that. You didn't want me to help, I whisper. Megan's eyes fill more. You always help. You always carry everything. I didn't want to be another burden for you. You are my sister, I whisper. You are never a burden. Megan breaks a quiet sob. I pull her into a hug, carefully mindful of her dress. Elliot stays silent, present. Megan pulls back, wiping her face. I tried to talk Derek out of it, she whispers. I told him he barely knows me. I told him it was too much. What did he say? I whisper. Megan's eyes go wet again. He said you matter to him. And I matter to you. And if he can do something that keeps you from losing your sister, he's going to do it. My throat tightens. A knock hits the door. Mom's voice. Girls, 30 minutes. Megan inhales sharply, blinking hard. Okay, she whispers. Okay, I can do this. I squeeze her hands. You can do this. Megan looks at me pleading. Please don't tell Mom. Not today. Let me have today. I swallow hard. I promise. The ceremony begins at 4. The barn is transformed into something unreal. White flowers line the aisle. Candles flicker. Soft light pours through the windows like it is blessing everyone. I stand at the front with the bridesmaids, bouquet in hand. Hannah is already crying. Sophie is clutching her flowers too tight. Layla moves like a quiet commander. And my sister walks down the aisle. She looks beautiful. She looks brave. Nathan's face crumples the moment he sees her. He starts crying before she reaches him. The officiant speaks about love and commitment and choosing each other in sickness and health, and the words hit differently now, like the universe is testing us. I keep thinking about Derek, about a hospital room, about him choosing this. Halfway through the vows, I glance into the crowd. My mother is smiling proudly, unaware. My father looks emotional, unaware. Brianna is discreetly filming, because of course she is. And Elliot sits at table 7, posture straight, eyes on Megan like he is guarding her day from chaos. He catches my gaze and gives me a small nod. Steady. Nathan speaks vows about laughter and partnership and showing up. Megan's voice trembles slightly when she speaks. I didn't know love could make you brave, she says. But it does. Her eyes flick to me for a fraction of a second, and I feel tears burn again. The officiant pronounces them married. Nathan kisses Megan. The room erupts in applause. For one moment, everything feels okay. Then the reception begins. Cocktail hour, jazz music, laughter. My adrenaline drains and I feel like my body is realizing how much it has been holding. Elliot finds me near the edge of the room and hands me a glass of champagne like he already decided I need it. I take it gratefully. You okay? He asks quietly. No, I say. He nods. Yeah. Mom appears before I can breathe. Jennifer, she says. Then her gaze slides to Elliot. There you are. I force a smile. Hi, Mom. Mom's eyes are sharp. Elliot, you're Derek's friend. Yes, Elliot says. And Derek couldn't make it. Elliot's voice stays calm. He had a serious situation. Mom's mouth tightens. What kind of situation? I feel my heart hammer. Elliot doesn't blink. Something medical, that's all I can say. Mom's eyes narrow. Medical? Yes, Elliot says. Brianna drifts closer, phone in hand like a shark. Mom continues. Does Derek have family here? Someone we should contact? Elliot glances at me once, quick. I swallow hard, forcing myself steady. Mom, not today. Please. Mom's gaze flicks to my face and I see something shift. She senses something. She always does. Before she can push. Layla appears like an angel in sensible shoes. Before the ceremony, there is the usual pre-wedding limbo, where everyone is dressed and nowhere is allowed to sit. Layla is orchestrating people like chess pieces. Hannah is crying again, this time about how beautiful Megan looks. Sophie is fanning herself because barn weddings are a scam. My mother finds me in the hallway and points her clipboard at my chest. Elliot, she says, you're coming with us. Elliot steps forward. Yes. Mom looks at him. Family photos first. Then seating. Then you will sit where the card says and not wander. Elliot nods like he is receiving a mission briefing. My mother turns to me. Jennifer, fix your necklace. You look nervous. I swallow. I'm fine. Mom's eyes narrow. No one is fine at weddings. That's the point. She pivots and marches away. Elliot watches her leave, then glances at me. Do you want to cry or punch something? The question is so blunt I almost laugh. Both, I whisper. Elliot nods once. Okay, if you need a minute, take it now. I'll block traffic. He steps in front of the hallway entrance, casually intercepting an aunt who looks ready to interrogate me. He offers her a polite smile and some harmless conversation, redirecting her attention like it's nothing. I stand there for one breath watching him do it, and I realize something that makes my chest ache. He doesn't need credit for this. He's not performing. He's just doing it. Family photos in 10 minutes. Layla announces brightly. Everyone gather outside. Mom snaps into logistics mode. Fine, photos. She turns to Elliot. You too. Elliot nods. Yes. Brianna smirks. Oh, I can't wait for this. The photo session is exactly as awkward as I expected. We line up in front of a wooden fence with the sunset behind us. My parents in the center, Megan and Nathan beside them. Me on the other side with Elliot. The photographer is cheerful and ruthless. Okay, she says. Partners closer, it looks more natural. My stomach drops. Elliot glances at me. Is that okay? He asks quietly. The simple question hits me harder than I expect. Yes, I whisper. Elliot places his arm around my shoulders. His hand is warm, steady. The camera clicks. Beautiful. The photographer says, you two look great together. My mother makes a pleased sound. Brianna coughs dramatically like she is swallowing laughter. I ignore her. Then Brianna steps forward with her phone raised. Wait, she chirps. Let me get a video of this. Everyone smile. Mom's eyes narrow. Brianna, stop. Brianna pouts. What? I'm documenting family history. Elliot's voice is calm. Brianna, could you not film Megan's wedding like it's content? Brianna blinks, surprised at being addressed directly. You're serious, she says. Yes, Elliot replies. This isn't about you? Brianna's smile tightens. Wow. Okay, didn't realize Derek's friend was the moral police. Elliot's gaze stays steady. I'm not policing, I'm asking. Brianna huffs and lowers her phone, but I see the resentment in her eyes. She will try again later. Dinner begins after photos. I sit at table 7, next to Elliot, barely tasting anything. My brain keeps replaying Olivia's words. Living donation, planned procedure, someone you love. I keep glancing at Megan. sitting beside Nathan, smiling like a woman who is holding the world together with sheer will. Elliot notices my silence. Thinking, he asks. Spiraling, I whisper. He nods. Fair. How are you so calm? I ask, because I need to know his secret. Elliot's mouth twitches. I'm not calm, I'm controlled. What's the difference? Calm is feeling peaceful, he says. Controlled is feeling everything and choosing not to let it drive. That lands. I nod slowly. Can I ask you something? I whisper. Elliot turns to face me. Sure. Why did you come? I say, besides Derek asking you. Elliot's gaze holds mine. Because you shouldn't have to face your family alone. My throat tightens. You don't know me, I whisper. Elliot's voice is quiet. I know enough. Before I can respond, the DJ's voice cuts through the room. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the maid of honor speech. My stomach drops. The speech. I wrote something weeks ago. Something generic. Something safe. But that was before I knew my sister is sick. Before I knew Derek is in a hospital bed for her. Before my life cracked open. I stand, heart pounding. Elliot leans in slightly. Breathe, he murmurs. I inhale and walk to the microphone. The room quiets. Everyone looks at me. Brianna's phone is up again, of course. I grip the microphone, hands shaking. When Megan asked me to be her maid of honor, I begin. I said yes immediately. Soft laughter. Because that's what I do. I continue. I say yes. I show up, I fix things, I make sure everyone else is okay. My voice wavers. But today, I say, swallowing hard, I learned something. I look at Megan, and she is staring at me with wide eyes, tears already shining. Being strong doesn't mean doing everything alone, I say. It means letting people love you. It means letting them show up for you the way you show up for them. A hush falls. Megan, I say, voice cracking. You are the bravest person I know. Megan presses a hand to her mouth. Not because you're getting married today, I continue, but because you have a way of carrying hard things and still choosing joy, still choosing love. Nathan's eyes fill. I turn to him. Nathan, I say, take care of her. Not because she can't take care of herself, but because she deserves someone who wants to. I lift my glass. To Megan and Nathan, I say, may your love be stubborn, steady, and the kind that shows up. The room erupts in applause. I step down, legs weak. Elliot meets me halfway to the table and slips a napkin into my hand without making a scene. You have mascara, he whispers. I know, I whisper back. I sit down, breathing hard. After the maid of honor speech, I barely make it back to my chair before my father appears, quietly handing me a glass of water like he knows champagne is going to wreck me. That was good, he says. I nod, throat tight. Thanks. He hesitates, then looks at Elliot. You're the friend. Elliot stands, respectful. Yes, sir. My dad studies him in that gentle but sharp way he has when he's trying to decide whether someone is safe. You took a hard day and made it easier, Dad says. Elliot seems surprised. I just showed up. Dad nods slowly. That's not nothing. Then Dad looks at me. Whatever's going on, we'll handle it after today. You hear me? My eyes burn. Yes, I whisper. He squeezes my shoulder once and walks away before he can get emotional. I sit down, breathing shakily. Elliot leans in, voice low. Your dad is nicer than your mom. I snort. My dad believes feelings are private. My mom believes feelings are emergencies. Elliot's mouth twitches. That tracks. That was real, Elliot says quietly. It wasn't planned, I whisper. He nods. Sometimes that's the point. The reception continues. Later, when the dance floor fills, Megan drags me out for one song, laughing like she is trying to convince the universe she wins. I dance with her, smiling, but my mind keeps drifting to a hospital room. When the song ends, I try to slip away, but my mother catches me. Jennifer, she says, eyes sharp. Are you hiding something from me? My heart stops. No, I lie too quickly. Mom narrows her eyes. You're doing that voice. I swallow. Mom, please. She looks past me to Elliot. Elliot, you know where Derek is? Elliot's posture stays calm. I know he is safe. Mom's voice tightens. Safe where? Elliot holds her gaze. At the hospital. Mom freezes. My stomach flips. Mom's hand lifts to her chest. Hospital. Yes, Elliot says gently, but it's handled. Megan's day is still her day. Mom's eyes flash with panic. Why didn't you tell me? Because Megan asked us not to. I whisper before I can stop myself. Mom's face turns toward me, slow, like a storm shifting direction. She asked you not to tell me, Mom repeats. I nod, tears burning. Not today, Mom, please. Mom stares at me. Then at the dance floor where Megan is laughing with Nathan. For a long moment, I think she's going to break. Then she does something I don't expect. She swallows hard, forces a smile, and says, fine. The word is sharp, but it's compliance. Fine, Mom repeats, voice trembling slightly. Not today. She steps closer and lowers her voice. But after, Jennifer. After you tell me everything. I nod, relieved and terrified. Mom looks at Elliot, eyes suddenly softer. Thank you, she says abruptly. Elliot blinks. For what? For not letting my daughter drown, Mom says, then turns and walks back into the reception like she didn't just show a human emotion in public. I stand frozen. Elliot's voice is quiet. That was a lot. I laugh weakly. That was my mother's version of restraint. Elliot nods once. Then today must be serious. Dancing begins. Megan laughs on the dance floor with Nathan like she is trying to steal every moment she can. My mother watches her with pride. My father wipes his eyes, pretending he has allergies. Brianna drifts like a predator, looking for drama. At one point, she corners me near the dessert table. Smile sharp. So, she says, phone in hand, when are you going to tell everyone what happened to Derek? My heart pounds. I don't owe you an explanation, I say. Brianna's smile widens. Oh, you don't owe me, but you owe the story. Everyone's asking. You know how families work. Elliot appears beside me like he sensed danger. Brianna, he says calmly, leave her alone. Brianna scoffs. You're very protective for a guy who just met her. Elliot's gaze stays steady. Some people don't need a long relationship to deserve basic respect. Brianna's eyes narrow. Wow, you're annoying. Elliot's mouth twitches. I get that a lot. Brianna huffs and walks away, but I can feel her plotting. Around 9, I step outside for air. The garden is magical at night, fairy lights glowing through trees. the barn music muffled behind the doors. I sit on a stone bench, finally letting my shoulders drop. A moment later, Elliot steps outside. Mind if I sit? He asks. Go ahead, I say. He sits beside me, not too close, just present. We sit in silence for a minute, the kind that doesn't demand anything. When I step outside again later, Elliot follows, and for the first time he looks tired. Do you ever get tired of showing up? I ask quietly. Elliot sits on the bench beside me, staring at the lights. I used to think showing up was the easy part. And now? Now I know it costs something, he says. But it costs less than regret. I swallow. You talk like you've lost someone. Elliot's jaw tightens slightly. My older brother, he says after a beat. Not recently, but enough to change me. He was the one who always showed up. After he was gone, I realized I didn't want people I love to feel alone on hard days. My throat tightens. I'm sorry. Elliot shrugs, but his eyes look distant. It made me practical. It made me allergic to performative care. If I'm going to do something, I'd rather do it quietly and well. The words hit me because that's exactly what Derek did. Quiet, well, costly. And Derek, I whisper, he's like that too. Elliot nods. Yes. A silence settles, heavy but not awkward. Then Elliot looks at me. Jennifer, you don't owe anyone a decision right now. Not Derek, not your mother, not your cousin, not me. My eyes burn. I nod. Thank you. I mean it. He adds, if the only thing you can do today is breathe and be present for Megan, that's enough. The simplicity of it almost breaks me. I keep thinking about Derek. I whisper. Elliot nods. That makes sense. I don't know how to feel, I admit. I don't know what this means for us. Elliot's gaze stays on the lights. You don't have to decide tonight. I know, I whisper, but my brain won't stop. Elliot is quiet for a moment. Can I tell you something, he asks? Sure, I whisper. I've known Derek a long time, Elliot says. He's dated people. He's tried to make things work. He's failed. I swallow. But with you, Elliot continues, he talked about you like you were home. Not a goal, not a checklist, just home. Tears burn again. And what he did today, Elliot says softly, it wasn't because he doesn't care. It's because he cares too much. He couldn't stand the idea of you losing your sister if he could stop it. I wipe my face, embarrassed. Elliot offers another napkin without a word. I want to see him tomorrow, I whisper. He'll want that, Elliot says. Will you come with me? I ask quietly. Elliot looks surprised. You want me there? Yes, I say. You've been here for everything else. It feels wrong to leave you out. Elliot nods once. Okay. Inside, the DJ announces the bouquet toss. I groan. No. Elliot's mouth twitches. You don't want to catch it? Absolutely not, I say. He stands. Then let's go watch you definitely not catch it. We walk back inside together. Megan tosses the bouquet 10 minutes later. It arcs through the air and lands directly in my hands. I don't even move. The room erupts in cheers. My mother looks delighted. Brianna looks furious. Elliot just smiles like he expected it. The next morning, I drive to the hospital with Elliot in the passenger seat. He brought flowers. I brought coffee. The hospital smell hits me the moment we step inside, and my stomach twists with fear and relief. Derek is awake when we enter his room. He looks pale and tired but alert. The moment he sees me, relief floods his face. Hey, he whispers. I cross the room and sit beside him. Hi, I say, voice shaking. Are you okay? Derek nods, grimacing slightly. Sore, but okay. Elliot stays near the window, quiet. Derek's eyes flick to him. Elliot nods. Hey, thank you, Derek says, voice rough. Elliot's jaw tightens. You're welcome. I look at Derek, tears already burning. Why didn't you tell me? Derek swallows. Because the second you knew, you would have carried it on your face. Your mom would have demanded answers. And Megan didn't want her wedding day to become a medical vigil. I could have handled it, I whisper. Derek's eyes soften. Jennifer, you handle everything. That's why I didn't want you to handle this. My chest aches. I found out anyway, I whisper. Derek nods. Olivia called you. Yeah, I whisper. She said you signed a release. I did, Derek says. I couldn't stand the idea of you thinking I abandoned you. I swallow hard. You did something huge for my sister. Derek's gaze drops. It felt like the only choice. That's not normal, I whisper. Derek's mouth twitches. I've never been normal. I laugh weakly, then seriousness returns. How are you feeling? I ask. Tired, Derek admits. But good, knowing she's going to be okay. I press my hand over my mouth as a sob escapes. Derek squeezes my fingers gently. We talk for a while. About Megan, about recovery, about what comes next. And then the question sits between us like a stone. I take a breath. Derek, I say softly. He looks at me. I care about you, I say. His eyes soften. I care about you too. But, I whisper, voice breaking, I don't think we're it. The words hurt to say, but they feel true. Derek's face tightens, pain flickering. Then he nods slowly, like he has already been preparing for this. Okay, he whispers. I blink. Okay? Derek swallows. I'm not going to ask you to stay because I did a good thing. My throat tightens. And? Derek adds quietly, I don't want you to stay out of guilt. Tears spill again. Derek glances toward Elliot near the window, then back at me. I watched you yesterday, Derek says softly. Not like jealousy. Just, I watched you breathe differently when Elliot was around. My cheeks burn. Derek, it's okay, Derek whispers. He's a good man. Elliot shifts slightly, uncomfortable, but he doesn't interrupt. Derek looks back at me, voice gentle. I think we made sense on paper, he says. But paper isn't the same as life. I squeeze his hand, crying. I'm sorry, I whisper. Derek shakes his head. Don't be sorry, be honest. I nod, wiping my face. And, I add quietly, because I need it said cleanly, I'm not making any decisions about anyone today except Megan's recovery and your recovery. I'm not jumping into anything. I need truth. Derek nods, relief flickering. That's fair. He exhales and looks toward Elliot. Elliot, Derek says. Elliot looks over. Yeah? If she asks you for coffee? Derek says, voice rough. Don't be an idiot. Elliot's eyes widen slightly. Derek, I mean it, Derek says. Do it right, slow, honest. Elliot nods once, serious. Okay. I laugh through tears because the absurdity of my life cannot be ignored. When we leave the hospital, the air outside feels different. Not because everything is solved, but because everything is clean. Weeks pass. Megan recovers. Her color returns. Her laugh returns. The fear in her eyes fades. Derek recovers too, and we become friends in the honest way, not the forced way. And Elliot and I get coffee. Not because destiny is loud, but because showing up is quiet. One coffee becomes two. Two becomes dinner. Dinner becomes a pattern. Elliot remembers how I take my coffee. He texts when he says he will. He doesn't promise fireworks. He promises steadiness. And one day, on my birthday, he pulls me onto my balcony and asks me a question that changes everything. Jennifer, he says, voice steady, hands shaking slightly. Will you marry me? My yes comes out like a sob. And when the door opens and Megan rushes out laughing, healthy and glowing, I realize something that makes my chest ache in a good way. This isn't the story I planned, but it's the story I needed. He didn't show up to my sister's wedding, but his friend did, and that changed everything.